For the last 8 years or so, you have seen me in my Klim Badland suit. It has been through all conditions and have proven itself to be one of the best adventure suits on the market. This year, because of my partnership with Moskomoto and the influential powers of my two good friends in Sweden, I have decided to try out layering system and to see if this is something that can fit me and my riding style better than an all-in-one adventure suit. But is it true what they say online? Is the hype real? Or is it just fanatic talk from people that are deeply invested in the lightweight adventure community? Before we take a closer look between the two systems, let me give you a better understanding of what layering means. The layering principle is about wearing several thin specialized clothing layers so you can adapt quickly to changes in weather or body temperature. Each layer is specialized to achieve a certain task in the clothing system. Air trapped between the layers offers more warmth in cold condition, but can also help transport heat and sweat away from your skin in warm condition. Therefore, you can see how a good clothing system helps whether we are trying to keep warm or keep cool. Base layer is the first layer you use close to your skin to keep warm or to transport heat, sweat from your skin. Typical fabrics used are nylon, polyester, microfleece, merino wool, bamboo, etc. Me personally use wool or merino wool for this. I have a double layer Teletubby suit with mesh and wool for the cold, early and late season, and the rest of the year I just use long johns. Mid layer, also known as the insulation layer. You will try to match the condition and your level of activity with this layer. A couple of thinner layers may be more versatile than one thicker one. Typical fabrics are fleece, wool, Primaloft or similar, down, but be aware a down jacket does not work well in wet condition. That is better to use as an insulation outer jacket in camp, etc. Outer layer, also known as the shell layer. Your shell layer should be a waterproof, abrasive jacket, but here is room for discussion depending on what riding you are doing. Typical fabrics are proofed nylon, breathable coatings, Gore-Tex or similar membrane, or Ventile cotton. Me personally use membrane jackets, but will probably use more variation now when I have the Armour shirt. Yeah, but this is exactly what I'm wearing. I have the wool base layer. I have the Primaloft insulation layer, and then I have the shell layer that is waterproof and abrasive resistant. So this is the exact same thing that I was talking about. Well, you're not wrong, but it comes down to one key factor, and that is the Armour. Let me explain. This doesn't make much sense up here in the north where it's still winter, cold and miserable. But if you go down south or in warmer climate, you will see a much bigger benefit of being able to take on and off the outer layer or mid layer or whatnot. On the climb suit, you are much more reliant on opening the ventilation with the zippers around the jacket. You can do that on my Mosko gear as well. But if it's getting really hot or you are going on gnarly trails, you can take off the outer shell completely and just run with your Armour or jersey or whatever you like actually. But that takes me to another topic, and that is if you choose the right or correct Armour, because not all Armour are alike, and some of the Armour shirts these days are rated so you can slide on tarmac and whatnot without it getting burned through. And I did look at two different setups. I tried out the Nox Armour. That didn't fit me, it was too tight in the neck. I tried the Super Shirt from Adventure Spec, thank you Matthias, and that fit me really well. But there's a little tip there as well, because I have really pointy and skinny elbows. The Armour that from Force Field that comes with the Armour is a little bit stiff. So it hurts my elbow, so I changed that with my Armour from my old Klim jacket. That it's much more flexible and much more comfortable. And there's a lot of discussion online about how lightweight the layering system is compared to an all-in-one adventure suit. So I ended up measuring my Klim gear compared to my new Moscow gear and the super shirt. And I'm quite amazed how little it differs between the two. And I see the numbers, it's only 400 grams in difference. But with that said, there is a feel to it. The layering system feels much lighter, but I think that has to do with every single garment are lighter in its own. So, and because it fits you snugger into your body, it just feels lighter. But when you see the numbers, it weighs almost the same. And then you have pricing. If you go into Climb's webpage and you scroll down, you will find the Badlands Pro jacket cost 1,388 euros and the pants are 932 euros. That is VAT included. So a total of 2,320 euros for the jacket and the pants. If you head over to the Moskomoto site, you see that the jacket cost 579 euros and the pants cost 499 euros. But that is without VAT, so you have to include that afterwards. So in total, the price for the Klim suit, with included all the armor, everything, is 26,826 Norwegian krone. And the Moscow gear with the super shirt from Adventure Spec and knee pads from Sweet Protection is 21,161 Norwegian krone. So there's a difference in 5,665. And that is not that much. I thought it would be more. So I'm quite surprised actually. But this is of course if you have to buy everything from scratch. If you own one of the garment or you have armor from earlier, then this will be much cheaper to continue to invest in the layering system compared to a all-in-one suit. And then you have the safety aspect around the layering system compared to a all-in-one suit. And I'm not going to dive too deep into that because safety is a thing that you have to define for yourself. What is safe and what is safe enough. Oh! And I think a lot of the discussions around safety online is quite rubbish, to be honest. It's up to you to be responsible and do the things that you think is safe enough for your kind of riding and your style of riding. And of course, there's a big difference if you're speeding down the highway or if you go slow off-road. So, is this a better system than my Klim suit? Well, I can't tell you that because I really need to try it out in different situations before I can conclude if it's better or worse or similar. And I will bring it on all my trips this season. I will really test it out in rainy conditions, dusty conditions, on gravel roads or on tarmac, and really put it through its paces and see if this is something that could replace my Klim suit or if I will go back to Climb again and continue to wear the Badlands suit. And just because I get this system now doesn't mean that I will stop using my Klim gear, because that is just genius to put on when I go back and forth to the store, to work or to practice. I feel quite lucky to have both systems and have the possibility to try them out. And I will make a follow-up video at the end of this season when I have concluded or given it a proper test.